The best audience in Brighton stands patiently on the pavement outside a small shop, watching a skill that is centuries old, one which fascinated their parents when they were young. Entranced, they gaze by the hour, trying to guess what will next take shape in a flame, wondering if they can afford 20 pence to possess it. For over 20 years, Bill Axcell has entertained the children.
I wouldn't be surprised, but what you could tell practically every child in Brighton by its nose print from the window. I must say that they're a very appreciative audience. The name, the Glass Animal Man, funnily enough, came from the children, because I used to go backwards and forwards to Haywards Heath night and morning, and there I'd be walking up the road and the children would shout to their mums, "Look, Mum, there's the Glass Animal Man." Well, after this had gone on for a couple of years, I said to myself, well, you can't beat them, join them. So I called myself the Glass Animal Man. As a child, I had no artistic ability whatsoever. I couldn't do anything with my hands. My father was a cabinet maker, and he was completely disgusted because I couldn't even saw a piece of wood straight. And as for knocking a nail in, it would simply bend or break, or I would hit my thumb. And I remember once making at school a pen holder in wood, which was so bad that I bought for £0.50. One of the other boys took that home instead. I couldn't possibly take mine home. It was too awful for words. Amongst my many customers, I have one or two special ones. One of them is a young lady called Claire, who quite frequently writes to me beautiful letters with the designs which she's thought up, which she requires at 25 pence a time.
Hello!
Mind you, once I've completed these designs, I don't do them again. They're far too complicated. Hello.
Hello, hello, nice to see you again.
Mostly we come down on my birthday, or Serena's birthday, because we've saved up all the money, you see, we've been given. I like watching them being made because it's fantastic to see something that I've drawn, which is on a flat piece of paper, suddenly become a solid object and become real.
You're spending half your time at home thinking up designs that I can't make.
Well, like the cow.
Yeah, the cow's a terrible one. And the lion, I couldn't make that either.
Yes, was it the mane that sort of stopped you making it, or something else?
It was not being able to get the head to actually look out of the mane. All the time, this blessed thing just appeared to be a cat with a lump on its back. It never looked like a lion.
The ones he can't do are the cow I drew, because it was a very fat cow and it had very large udders, and he couldn't get the udders on because he couldn't make the legs long enough to make it stand up properly.
What was the first thing I ever made for you, Claire? Can you remember?
It's a walrus, blue walrus and a panda.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I had problems with those as well, didn't I?
Yes, you couldn't get the tusks right on one of them, and the panda, something went wrong with that, but it turned out nice in the end. When she gets bored, she draws them. You're making the mouse just like I thought you would, so
Good.
far. The trouble is with the picture, the ears on the front of it are sort of facing frontways, and then on the side bit they're facing sideways. So you've got a choice of which way you're going to do it.
Can I choose the easy way?
It depends which way it is. It'd be nice to see it sort of living though. Sort of a flat drawing on a piece of paper.
Why have you got red feet? Has he been walking on something hot?
Yes. He's a shy mouse.
There. One mouse with whiskers.
Isn't it lovely? Yes.
I have 4 children. Just warm that up. You want a little blob first. That's it. Remember? They all take an interest in the business. I like to be able to teach in such a way that they don't get told so much as find out for themselves. If the children do take an interest, then I'll tell them how to do it and show them how to do it. But mostly I wait for them to try it themselves and then just guide them. This is far better than trying to teach them the way that I do things. Because if they learn my methods, then their work will look like mine. But if they learn their own methods as they go along, there's always the chance that one of them or two of them will become artists in their own right and have a distinctive style all their own. Lovely. What a beautiful octopus. Yes, he's got 2 eyes and 4 legs. You couldn't do better than that, could you? About 3 years ago, I had a stroke. I suppose it was overwork, too much strain. And the first thing I knew was that my left hand wouldn't work. My left side of my body, my left leg and my left arm just wouldn't do what I wanted them to. So for a little while, I had to work more or less one-handed. The thought didn't occur to me that I'd never be able to work again. The first time that the glass melted in the flame for me, I found it absolutely unbelievable. I'd actually got something I could control. It would do what I wanted it to do. And there didn't seem to be any problem about design. They just sort of flowed from the glass into the shape that I was thinking of. It's quite fantastic that anything should work for me like that. I constantly experiment with the glass. I never had anybody to teach me how to hold the glass or what to do, and so I'm able to decide I'm going to do so and so, and I try it, and it generally works. I suppose subconsciously, or far back in my ancestry, there was somebody who had this artistic flair, and it just happens to come out into my hands. It's like watching somebody else working the glass. I sit there, the glass melts and becomes something. It could quite easily be 2 people. Myself, who's I know is a clottish sort of bloke, no talent, but the other chap who's sitting there has got all the talent and can produce any glass animal that he feels like. And it's a very strange feeling sometimes to find that the thing I've made is so beautiful and so nice that I think, well, I couldn't make that. It must be somebody else.